In December 2015, Cumbria was ravaged with extreme flooding that occurred in several parts of the Northern Lake District. Pooley Bridge, Keswick, Brathwaite and Cockermouth were hit the worst, and several bridges collapsed along the rivers that serve those towns. Now in 2018 we return with the Force 13 drone to take a look at how it looks now. Cumbria is one of the most picturesque locations in the United Kingdom, certainly one of the most picturesque in England, and is very popular with tourists throughout the year, especially obviously people who are from the UK, to get away from all the hustle and bustle of the cities. Throughout the year it rains quite a lot here, however. Most of the year is spent with rain falling in some part of the Lake District. And obviously with the mountainous terrain along the western coast bordering the Irish Sea, that certainly can amount to quite a lot, and that can cause some significant flooding problems from time to time. The first stop was Coniston Water, seen here, which didn't have particular flooding problems in 2015, that occurred further north. The next stop was Wastwater, situated on the western side of the Lake District and a little bit more inaccessible, at least compared to the tourist destinations of Windermere and all of the other more well-known lakes in the central part of Cumbria. This is situated towards the west, more difficult to get to by road, but as you can see the views were simply stunning. Additionally, there were no towns on the vicinity of the lake, indeed, only one or two very small areas of human development. No main towns as there are on many of the other lakes, and makes it for a rather unspoilt territory as seen here. Additionally, one of the Force 13 videos from early 2016 featured this lake as well, with myself standing on the side of it presenting and talking about something or other at the time. And then we traversed through the northern mountains, which were snow-capped at this time of year, and it gives you a little indication of what they may have looked like, although a little bit more extreme you'd suggest, in the glacial period. And then on to Pooley Bridge, which was one of the worst affected locations in the 2015 floods. This was the bridge that was demolished in 2015 and was rebuilt in 2016, overlooking the river there, flowing into Ullswater, and this is how it looked back in 2015, and you can see what the difference was between the water level. The bridge was almost covered by the water, which in the previous video was several feet or even meters below what it was back in 2015. There's some more imagery of the flooding, which did indeed cripple that town for quite a while. And back in 2018, some of the peaks visible towards the southwestern part of the lake there, and a small river that flows into it, one of many that may have flooded and caused miniature waterfalls at times. And we sent the drone out over this area as well, as you can see, and we took a little aerial view of the Pooley Bridge area as we closed in on sunset. Whilst we were out in Cumbria in 2015, the worst rivers affected was probably the River Derwent, which went through Cockermouth and towards Keswick. It met up with the River Greater at Keswick, and that was another one that had flooded terribly, and the River Earmont, which is the one that flows through Pooley Bridge, and the one that flowed near Penrith, which had also terribly flooded near there as well, just off to the northeast by a few miles. In most areas, the remnants of the 2015 flooding is probably no longer visible, although we are still very vigilant in this area for more similar incidents. The last one before 2015 was only in 2009, so they're not exactly a rare occurrence, but hopefully the flood defences will have been improved after the latest event that occurred.